Hello and welcome to this tutorial, and in this tutorial we'll be learning how to create a new list view so that whenever we select an option from this list view we will be redirected to a new activity. So what we have done is that in the previous tutorial we had an error, and the thing was that this was the code which we have written in the previous tutorial. So what I simply did is that I have replaced this code by this code, and inside it what I have done is that for position 0, that is for the first position, whenever the item on the first position was selected, we have created a new intent and we are going to start a new activity with this intent. So if you are having an error from the previous tutorial, make sure that you replace this line right here by this line, so it is going to remove your error. And the next thing which we are trying to achieve here is that whenever we clicked the first list item on our screen, what should happen is that it should redirect to a new activity which is nothing but this drink category activity. So if you have a look here, this is our drink category activity right here, and if we open it up, as you could see, there is nothing here right now, and actually we need to add in some code into it. So what we want this activity to do is that we want this activity to have a list, and the list should actually contain certain elements, and those elements are nothing but the categories of the type of drinks or the type of food which we are offering on this app. So the only thing which we need to do is that we need to add list activity to this. So in order to add a list activity to this class right here, what we do is that we make this class extend the list activity. So we go here and type extends list activity. So a list activity is basically an activity which is simply going to contain a list and nothing more than that. So as here we want to display a list, we have used the list activity, and now once we have the list activity, as in case of any other method, as we have the onCreate method, we also need to add an onCreate method over here. So if we switch back to main activity, as you could see, this is our onCreate method. So in order to create an onCreate method, we used protected void onCreate. Then inside parameters we have bundle save instant state. Now in this case we are going to do the same, so we simply copy this line of code in order to save time, and let's go here and paste it. Click OK, and also make sure that you have an additional closing curly bracket. And as you could see, as soon as we have added this method right here, it is going to show us an error, and this error is going to be removed if we use the onCreate method here. And in order to remove this error, we type super dot onCreate, and make sure that you type the O as small letter. Then we type onCreate, and inside it we pass the parameter as saved instant state. So as you could see, we have basically created the list activity. Now the next thing would be to actually have this list activity whose name is drink category activity into the manifest. And the reason for doing that is whichever activity we use in an application should be added to the manifest. So if we go to the app folder, if we go to manifest, and if we switch to this Android manifest.xml, this is the place right here which this activity ends, and as soon as this ends, we actually need to add in the newly created activity which is nothing but the drink category activity. So in order to add an activity, we type activity, and Android name is going to be the drink category activity, which it is already popping up. So we simply hit enter, and as you could see, our activity has been added. So we simply exit out of it. So as you could see, we have successfully added the new activity which is nothing but the drink category activity into our manifest. So once it is done, we switch back to this drink category activity.java, and actually in order to make this activity display a list, what we are going to do is that we are going to create a new list view here so that it is going to display a list. So in order to create a list, we go right here and then we use a list view. So we type list view, and let's name this list view as, let's say, list drinks. So we type list view list drinks equals get list view, and after this we are going to create an array adapter so that this array adapter could be used in order to display each and every element present in the list. So in order to create an array adapter, we go right below here and we type array adapter, and in the brackets we type drinks, and remember that this drinks is nothing but the class. Then we type list adapter equals new array adapter, and within this we are going to specify a few parameters. So the first parameter is going to be this, as we are dealing with the current object, and the second parameter would be the actual list item which we are dealing with. So we type android dot r dot layout dot simple list item 1. So after this, the next parameter which we are going to add is going to be the drinks. So we give a comma, then we type drinks dot drinks. So once it is done, we are good to go. Now the only thing which we need to do is that we need to give a semicolon here, and after this we actually want to set the list view to the adapter which contains the drinks or the name of the drinks. So we type list adapter, or sorry, it should be list drinks, which is nothing but the object of list view which we have created right over here. So list drinks dot set adapter, and we are going to assign this the list adapter which we have created. So once it is done, we are good to go. Now in order to check if our application performs correctly, we are going to save the code and we are going to execute this application onto the emulator. So as you could see, our application is up and running on the emulator, and when we try to select drinks, and as you could see, now we switch to a new activity which is basically a list which contains 3 options. The first one is the latte, the second one is cappuccino, and the third one is filter. So if we select any of these options, nothing happens, and that is because we have not yet added the code to handle events related to this. Now also one more thing which I need to clarify is that if you select this food, nothing is going to happen, and that is because we have only added the action listener to this drinks option right here. So make sure that you only select this option right here, which is drinks, and actually you could copy the same code if you actually want to make these 2 options functional. But for the sake of understanding, we have taken an example of only one option. So if we click it, we will be presented with a list view here. So that's it for this tutorial, and I hope you guys understood how we switched from this activity right here to a new activity which is nothing but a list view. And we have also created this list view right here. So that's it for this tutorial, and in the next tutorial we are going to make these things functional, and we are going to design our application in such a way that whenever we click on latte, it is going to actually present us a picture of a latte, and it is actually going to show us the description of it. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Thank you.